Welcome to Femme Parler Podcast, where we are unpacking opinions and changing destinations. I am your host, Shirley Altador, where each week we will chat about how to rise strong out of all types of obstacles that come with relationships. Through personal life experiences and discussions ranging from infidelity, trust, forgiveness, sex, heartbreak, self-love, and so much more. I am passionate and obsessed to provide guidance to every woman to create a better life. Let's dive in, pull up a seat, make sure you're cozy, and get ready to be challenged and encouraged while you learn. With me, your virtual girlfriend. Welcome back to another episode of Femme Parler Podcast and Advice Time. Today we're going to be talking about setting boundaries in a relationship when it comes to maintaining friendships with, especially, I guess, the primary focus is if you have friendships with the opposite sex, and what is, deemed respectful. Because I don't think saying what is okay or not okay, I don't want to use that term, because when you're in a relationship with somebody, of course, it's not an ownership agreement. So you should be able to have friends with whoever you choose to have friends with. But what is important from my perspective is, what is the respectful boundary? What is deemed of what is okay and what is not okay? So I guess to start off with me and my thought process as a woman, what I deem is respectful for me. So when it comes to the opposite sex and friendship, to be honest with you, I really do think I only have one. In all due respect, I have a lot of associates or coworkers of people I may have throughout my life, but I can really truly say I only have one true friend of the opposite sex. And when my job and my career changed, our friendship kind of diminished, but that friend was like a brother to me. But even that, to me, there were certain boundaries in our friendship that was definitely important to me. And how I look at it is, it doesn't matter who your friends are, whether it's male or female. I feel as though you should never conduct yourself as though, number one, you're single. Number one, you should be mindful of the activities that you're participating in, where you're going, and your significant others should always be aware.
Don't look at me.
Why? Do you feel a little pressure?
No, I just felt the eyes on me. Like, don't look at me.
Because I'm talking to you. So as my father always say, eye contact is very important when someone's speaking to you.
We're on this podcast. Talk to the camera. Don't direct some of these messages to me, please. You have your time to speak and I'll have mine.
As my father always says, eye contact is very important when you're speaking to someone. You know what's interesting, though? I will tell you this. My attitude, the way my attitude is, it is the attitude of a man. Because as I got older, I realized I am really, truly just like my father. But it's interesting to always hear people say that my attitude is so abrupt or aggressive, or I come off as a bitch, but I get this attitude from a man. But anyway, just to segue off, since we're going off topic.
Let me piggyback off that real quick. You don't have an attitude. It's basically you're confident in what you're speaking. So it's not about you having an attitude, you come off as a bitch or this and this and that. You're just confident in the words that you speak. It's not to be cocky. You're just confident.
I guess you could look at it that way. But many people think I do have an attitude. I mean, even you have even said I speak with a harshness.
No. I said you speak defensive when somebody's coming at you. You come off very defensive when somebody's trying to talk to you and you don't want to hear what they got to say. You become defensive. That's totally different. But anyway, not to get off topic. Go ahead, baby.
Go ahead. You chimed in, so I'm going to let you continue.
No, I just wanted to piggyback off of what you said.
Go ahead. You can now chime in on the friendship, and then I'll chime in where I feel need be.
As far as for me, as y'all might know, because of the way I speak, like I was basically raised on the outside world, streets type stuff. So males just seem to get you in a lot of trouble. So me personally, I seem to lean more towards female company due to the fact that there's no aggression within their have fun time, so to say. Go out, have fun, chill, make it home safe type stuff. And yeah, like I have maybe two or three dudes that I rock with heavy, real heavy, you know what I mean? Like my day one on my right hand. Other than that, it's all about the brotherhood with, me and Shirley's gonna bring that up on the next episode somewhere down the line. But yeah, like me personally, I just like the female company now because at the end of the day, there's no hostility, there's no aggression, there's no, how would I say, like having to worry about something might happen. Yeah, but you do gotta set boundaries. You do gotta have respect for your significant other, and just live life knowing that you have them boundaries and that respect.
Very true. I do agree with that. Where you do have to, you do have to set the boundaries. What is one boundary in our relationship if I was to have, go out with, well, I will say this. Even though Khalif may not seem like he's the jealous type or doesn't come off as though he is the jealous type, there have been situations where he has shown his jealousy, and I definitely have seen it, even though he comes off at times as, I don't want to say he's emotionalist, but he doesn't necessarily care what I do, but he does care what I do.
I caution.
Because remember when it was back in 2014. Yeah, it was back in 2014 when you had broke the news to me, and there was nobody for me to go out with but the one person. And you were like, that's the only person you have to go out with. That's the only option you have.
But the crazy part about it is, so with that situation, right? What I realized was, you basically just needed a vent and a male's point of view from it.
No, I didn't need any male point of view. My female friends were not available. He was the only one that was available.
Well, shit,
but
that's
you
the way I
weren't
thought
happy about it.
I wasn't happy about it, but when I settled down and I thought about it, I mean, that's what I thought.
I guess you could say that. I think you've never truly been crazy controlling. So I think when you realize this wasn't a choice that was given to you, and this was something that Shirley was going to do regardless if I liked it or not. And based on the situation in the news that was shared with me, I think you were just okay with it.
I fucked up. But at the end of the day, like I said, you know what I mean? I thought you just needed a male's point of view.
No, I didn't need a male's point of view. I just needed to step out my female friends. We know that's your boy because he's always been cool,
That's my guy.
But you also have to remember the respect goes both ways. Like he's always been respectful to our relationship.
And we all went out together before, know what I mean? Like, so it is what it is,
So that's, the respect does have to be mutual, and I've kept it, especially with him, I've kept it respectful. He's kept it respectful. He's never ever, stepped out of line or made you question his moves because he's never acted in such way.
But that's my guy, though.
True, but there are men out there that are sneaky. Come on now.
They can get shot. I'm sorry. I don't mean to mess up your podcast that way, but just
no,
let
you don't
know.
I mean, this is just the real truth. It's just raw information.
I was raised by Malcolm.
Oh, Lord. So I guess for me to comment, now, some people might think, well, because remember when I was in the shower the other day, I told you sometimes I give you this long rope and you literally stretch it to endless boundaries. So one thing I will share.
You don't give me a rope. You give me a rubber band because guess what?
Rubber band?
It snap back, baby.
Rubber band.
You don't
My
give me no
gosh.
rope. You give me a
Well,
you
it's
give
a
me a rubber
long
band.
rubber band that's snapping back because ever since Khalif and I were little, I've always been very secure with who I am. I've never really been controlling with Khalif, and I've never been the type of female that's like, well, you can't go out with this, you can't do this. I'll be honest with you, your family was definitely. Remember the time you brought that one girl to the cookout?
That's my
Oh,
homegirl.
it don't matter.
She
Your
having a baby now
family,
too.
I don't even know her.
I know she having a baby
But
now.
either way,
Actually, she's
your
moving back.
family was like, who is this? Why are you bringing her here?
That was my dog.
Shirley, how are you okay with this?
That was one of the first female friends that I was actually cool with, and my family made her so fucking uncomfortable that she didn't speak to me no more. But that's still my dog, you know. Like she had to go out, live life, pursue her dreams. You know
Wait
what
a
I mean?
minute.
Get her
You're
career.
saying that your family made it so uncomfortable that she chose not to speak to you anymore?
Dead ass. I swear on everything. I swear on everything.
Well, I'm not going to. Your family's tough.
Them motherfuckers is different.
They not different.
They not tough. They
no. Out of all of
raw.
them,
All right, you know what? I'm not gonna say. I'm not gonna
they're
say they
not
different.
tough.
They not tough. They raw. Like
it's either you could deal with them or you can't
Yeah,
deal with them. There's
like-
no in between. They're not
like,
tough because at the end
no,
of the
they
day,
have no filter.
they're going to question who is this woman coming to the party when your lady is right here, and is your lady okay with this? Because if she not okay with it, we're gonna make sure she doesn't become okay
listen
with
to
it.
this, right? Before she even came to the cookout, the first question you asked me was, "Did you fuck her?" And I kept it 100 with you. I said, "Nah, we just cool as hell. Like we all grew up together."
Well, yeah, of course that's what I asked you because of the simple fact that, like, well, so here's the thing with Khalif and I, right? So, as you all know, as our relationship started out at 25 years, we were really fuck buddies. So there was a lot of his moves that were questionable. A lot of his moves were
I was
questionable.
in the streets.
And
Ain't no questionable moves when you're in the street. They're only cautions. They're not questionables. They're cautions.
the street doesn't have anything to do with having sex. People who aren't in the street have sex, babe. I don't know what you're talking about.
Them motherfuckers be weird though. Like they don't. Man, listen.
So now I lost my train of thought. So what I was saying is, what I was trying to say was, Khalif and I are different, definitely in in the fact that I'm definitely more of homebody, introvert, very reserved when it comes to going out. I don't need large crowds. I don't need to. I actually like being by myself and alone time, and Khalif is definitely the opposite. Although sometimes he may come off, when Khalif talks, he acts like he's very reserved, mild mannered, and he's going to be home reading a book. But Khalif is a total social butterfly that likes to be out and about. Even if he's not in the streets, he loves talking. He loves having conversation. He loves socializing. Where me, I'm like, I like deep conversations, and I don't just like to conversate with anybody and everybody, because conversating with everybody is not important to me. But anyway, I always was secure with myself, and I allowed him to be him. One of the things that happened in our relationship is, I do feel like there was a point where Khalif was, I don't know, I don't want to use the word immature, but I like to say he took advantage of my kindness. And I don't know, I guess he was still growing up. I don't know what he was still doing, but that's when I had to turn the notch up. And I guess you can say I may have been labeled as a bitch, but I also feel like, and that's okay. I'm totally okay with people thinking I'm a bitch, feeling I'm a bitch, or I say things that may rub them the wrong way. You know, my father, who doesn't speak much, but when he does say things, they are very enlightening. This world doesn't cater to you, and you don't cater to the world. So there are things that people may say to you that are going to be hurtful. But when, anytime Khalif stepped out and I may have approached the person, I may have come off real reckless and disrespectful, but it's more, I also feel like
anger.
The line of respect goes both ways, because if you're in a relationship and the female knows you're in a relationship. And it took years for me to realize that there's trauma associated when people do things like this. So if obviously you don't care, and she was the one that told me, and it actually enlightened me, because as stupid as it may sound, she said, if Khalif don't give a fuck, why the hell do you want me to give a fuck? And she made a good point, because if you don't give a fuck about the respect that you have to give to us in the relationship, it's not another female's responsibility to care.
True.
You know,
I'll give you that.
It's just not another person, or female or male, whatever the situation may be.
But I'll give you this. This is the realest shit ever. Anytime I have stepped out in a relationship, every last one of them fucking females knew, bitch, I got somebody. So the feelings that they had, it is what it is. So what I'm gonna tell you, fellas, is don't go balls deep. Don't let the balls hit the back of the pussy. If you let the balls hit the pussy, my nigga, you in trouble. They got feelings right there. I'm just gonna keep it 100.
You so silly.
I'm dead ass.
But now
we can call D.
We don't need to call D. But you know how you always say, it's okay, you can say his name.
Yeah, let's call him.
We're not going to call him. D doesn't want to be called right now. Man, we can invite him to the podcast, and people can see who he is. He'll talk. D's a conversational type of person.
Yeah, he is. That's my
He definitely will talk.
Yeah, that's the third.
So
that's my cousin now.
Here's the thing. Here's what I wanted you to say. You know how you always tell me common sense, Shirley. And also to bring to light, if some of you haven't heard episodes, there's been infidelity on both parts. So we, don't think he's the only one that cheated. I cheated as well. So I'll go into,
Babe, but I'm telling you.
What are you doing?
Balls deep, babe. If the balls hit the back of the pussy, them females is in love. I'm just going off of my personal experience. Fellas, I don't know about y'all. Feel me? But listen, that shit'll get you in trouble. And that's how I got caught up.
But let's be honest, though. There was only one female, I feel like, that definitely, her feelings grew. If there was another, there was a boundary that was kept. The question is, well, here's the thing. I'm not going to tell. One thing I don't talk about. One thing I definitely don't say. These side pieces that you end up messing with, they do catch feelings. Because the side piece that I messed with was getting ready to catch feelings. But also I had to let him know. And I straight up told him.
That nigga caught feelings.
I'm telling you, these side pieces that you end up being with, they do end up catching feelings, but I cut it off immediately. And I think one thing that is different from you and I, that I feel like, you know how you always used to tell me, oh, you need common sense. You don't have any common sense. You don't need common sense. I realized immediately, like, oh shit, this is getting bigger than I want it to be, because I knew from the get-go, I wasn't going to leave the relationship I am. I was just in a place where
you felt lonely.
I was just in a place where I couldn't even describe it in words. And for the moment, the attention was taken off of the negativity that was happening in the relationship. But I was focused enough to realize, wait a minute, dude, you catching feelings, and this is getting too deep, and I'm not really that interested. And I knew I needed to stray, because even though I never shared it with you, there were many phone calls that he kept making after and after and after, but I just realized I needed to block him because it was a distraction for me. So that's why I'm asking you, you know how, why did your common sense not kick in? And why did you entice the situation and made more fuel to the fire when you realized? And that's what I always ask you. Why didn't you choose to kind of separate from...
to sum that up, right?
But wait.
Nah, hold on. Nah, you ain't got nope. You gave a fucking question. I'm going to give you a motherfucking answer. So to sum that up, right? Long story short, like I told on the previous episode, home is the peace, the sanctuary. You feel me? Now, I mean, like, when you're not getting that peace at home, it's like step out. You know what I mean? Whether it's go outside, go do something else, and I mean, ride around, whatever the case may be. And true and honestly, the comfort came from fucking with somebody else. And they became the peace until they became the fucking headache.
Okay. So I guess my main question is, where were you at? Like, I hear what you're saying. Where I was the headache, she became the
can
peace.
can I please sum this up in one word?
No, I just want to
Or
repeat
two
what you
words?
said. You said I was the headache, she became the peace, and then you made an interesting thing, and then now the peace became the headache. So you're searching for peace for someone else, but what about peace within Khalif? Why do I
Oh,
have
I
to be
was
your peace, or somebody else have to be? Because
no,
that's
no.
interesting. You say
So
home is supposed to be
so
peace, and home wasn't peace, so you went to somebody else's
so
house to find peace. But what about you?
I was at peace until I came to fuck home.
No, you're not.
That don't make no sense.
No, I get what you're
Fellas gonna
saying.
understand this. I was at peace until I came home. Like nobody wants to come home to argue. Nobody wants to come home to what about this or what about that or like 101 fucking questions. Nobody wants to come home to that. People like men, women, wherever the case may be, it doesn't matter who the fuck the person is. When you come home, you want to be able to relax, chill, whatever the case may be. When it becomes to the point of you coming home and it's questions, arguments, you know what I mean? Motherfuckers get tired of that shit. People literally get tired of coming home and dealing with shit they don't need to deal with. You know, like if I'm telling you I'm gonna leave all my problems outside this door, please don't let them happen inside this house. Literally, if like literally, let's just say we start a relationship, right? And I'm upfront with the female. Listen, right? There's a lot of shit that goes on outside. I don't be beat for it. When I come home, I just want peace. And if I come home and it start to feel like fucking outside, that's where the fuck I need to be then.
So that's the only reason why your side pieces ended, because they were becoming headaches?
No, you still a fucking headache. This is honesty.
But I'm not a side piece. I
You
said
ain't
that's
gotta
the
be.
reason
No.
why
Fuck
your
the side
side
piece part of
pieces
it.
ended. That's a
Because they was headaches.
yeah.
No, because you was my side piece too. You my main and my side now.
Oh
But you're still a
Lord.
fucking headache. You get what I'm saying here, fellas? The reason, okay, cool. So, the reason this shit ended is because at the end of the day, you can't make everybody fucking happy. You can't get everybody what the fuck they want. You can't overextend your fucking self. It becomes draining to you as an individual, you know? And at the end of the day, if you're not happy, how the fuck you gonna make somebody else fucking happy? Plain and fucking simple. Smarten the fuck up. Like, it's like this, right? I'm gonna tell you like this, and this is gonna be some real life shit. So, I jumped into the streets at the age of 13. I'm 40 years old now. When I'm riding down them fucking blocks and I still see the same motherfuckers out there doing the same shit, where the fuck did all the money go that you had? Or that you was getting? Or that you're getting? Where the fuck is that money at? Like, you don't have nothing behind you. You know what I mean? Like, you got motherfuckers that was out there selling drugs before me. And they still fucking walking. You got motherfuckers out there before me. And they getting shot and they older than me. When the fuck do you wise up off this shit? It's something I think about day in and day out. Like, you ride past, you still get what's up, you still get your love, whatever case may be. For those that fuck with you and respect what you do and like how you live your life. And you still got them same people that's saying what's up to you and all this other stuff that's still gonna fucking hate. But at the end of the day, if you've been standing on them fucking corners for 20 plus years and still ain't got a pot to piss in and a window to throw it out of, you still a young bull that's carrying around a plastic bag and a PlayStation. That's how I feel.
Well, since we geared off topic and we went into the streets,
This is
and
advice, though.
true, instead of we were talking about friendship, so we'll dive into that just a bit when it comes to the streets. But when it comes to the streets, what I realize is just like when you work a 9 to 5, when you work a job and you become complacent and you get comfortable with the people at the job and you don't want to leave because you don't know if you're going to find something else, or you don't want to go through the interview process, or you don't feel like getting to know new people and getting acclimated in a new job. When you're out there hustling, you get comfortable with those streets and that money and your own time that you're in control of. And also remember, who you surround yourself with is extremely huge. So when you out there hustling and you surrounding yourself with other hustlers, it's not like you go into a motivational group and you talking to a whole bunch of corporate men, or your surroundings is huge. So these people end up doing the same thing for years because, truth and honest, they don't know anything else. They get comfortable with that, making their own hours. So they don't function well at 9 to 5. And then owning your own business is great, but who's going to teach them that you got to start with a line of credit? You got to have some credit. You got to at least establish a credit card. And if they have the street mentality is great, but you also need the book mentality, and you also need the corporate world mentality. You need a little bit of both. And when these men are out here in these streets, it seems like they don't want to listen to nobody because they see this fast money, this easy money, and they're making their own hours. Nothing is tax deducted. They don't see anything else, because now when you own your own business, it's almost like hustling, but it's legal. And then they get upset because they don't want to pay taxes. They don't want to do this. Like, everything is a complaint. But this is the reason in my eyes, like if I'm out there and I see him out there, I'm just like, you do the same thing year after year after year, and then you complain either about your situation, or or you start saying things like, I'm the streets, or I was raised in the streets, or this and that. There's always opportunity to be better. I don't know what people are looking for when they say, like me, I find like I've always left my door of opportunity cracked. Even if I've been at a job, I've always left my door of opportunity cracked. I'm always looking for other opportunities. I'm always willing to listen what's out there. I make my mistakes, but when you hustling, it's like, okay, if that's what you had to do, and I'm very understanding, I get it. It doesn't upset me that someone had to go out there and hustle to make money. What ultimately gets me is there's no fucking growth. And then at 30 years old, I don't want to hear the shit of, I'm out here in these streets, I'm getting money, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. Okay. And what are you doing with that money? What do you have to show with that money? Have you established anything? Do you want to buy a house? Do you want to do this? And then it starts to get, fuck the government, fuck this, fuck that. It's like, you know what? This conversation.
I think. So let me tell you something here, right?
Go ahead.
People that you're thinking of. People that you're thinking of is people that's just living for the fashion.
I can't agree with that. They're out there. They're not just living for the fashion. That's just me piggyback of what you're saying. We don't need to get into it because it's not. I don't really necessarily care if they're living for the fashion, but this is what is out there. This is what I see.
Okay, yeah, but see, that's what you see because you're not involved in it. You feel me? You're the closed door. Like, there's multiple people out there that's been in the streets that have created revenue legally.
Absolutely. And me saying what I'm saying I'm not speaking. Let me make this clear for the listeners, because obviously there's a confusion even for Khalif. What I'm saying is not saying that Shirley is sitting here and saying everyone who's out in the streets are going to amount to anything and do nothing. That is not what I'm trying to say. But a large portion of the population do not move forward and complain because they choose not to want to do anything and they want to become complacent. There's always a small percentage. There's always a pro and con in everything. So yes, out of 100%, there's always going to be that 5% group of people that was raised in the streets, but that chose better, that took that money that they was flipping, that they was making, and chose to turn it into something better. There's always that 5%. But once somebody starts to say, these streets are all I know, or this and that, or just start having a conversation where like, you're already not making any sense, because there is tremendous amount of opportunity out there. And the question is, are you going for it? Are you going after it? Or do you want somebody to feel sorry for you or just throw money at you, or for everything to come easy? Things just don't come easy. They just don't. So what do you have to say about the boundaries in the friendship? What are certain boundaries?
Certain boundaries, don't fuck them. Know your fucking limits. Don't overstep anything. And just be a true friend. A true friend. Not a fuck buddy, not a fuck boy, not a fuck female. A true friend, you know? If you see them out of line, you correct them. If they see you out of line, they correct you. And just make sure y'all make it home safe and make sure everything's okay.
I know you're really blunt in saying don't fuck them. And obviously we all know that is the case. But how would you really truly feel if I had a whole bunch of male friends?
I'll be cool with it as long as you... With you, it's totally different. Like, come on now. Be fucking serious. With you, it's cool. You feel me? Because you know your limit. You know what I mean? You know...
But that's an easy answer. So let's look at the...
I don't...
That's an easy answer because
Listen, my answer is my answer, regardless if it's easy or if it's fucking hard. You know, okay. I'm straightforward with the fucking question.
I got you.
Straightforward with the answer, you know? Don't put yourself where you don't need to be. I cannot sit here and, let me give you a whole story. I can't do that. I'm sorry. Sorry, people.
You can. You just did it with the streets.
That's something I can relate to.
So, you see, Khalif, that's what I'm saying. Khalif, he could talk. He could talk. You just did it with the streets.
Listen, all I know is, as far as friendship, female friendship, you know?
No, we're talking about me, male friendship. Before we get into female, we're talking about if I surrounded myself with male friends, what are certain, other than obviously we all know the number one is you don't fuck your male friends if you're a female. We all know that. But what are some other boundaries for you as a male being in a relationship with a female, certain things that are not okay? And I'll give you one. I know me coming home late is something that you're not saying it, but if I was out with male friends, I know that is something you would not be comfortable with. So that's what I'm saying. What are certain boundaries for you in our relationship?
Shit. I agree with you on that one. Don't come home late. But that's only because you forced that shit upon me.
I forced it upon you?
You forced it upon me.
What did I force?
The answer.
Well, that's because I know.
But at the end of the day, like
even though you didn't say it, I know.
But see, this is the whole thing with me, though, right? Like, if you know, matter of fact, I'm gonna give you one better. Men, or if you're securing your spot, and your woman want to go out with her female friends or males, you know, her male friends, you know what I mean? If you're confident in your spot, and you know how she's gonna be, let her live life until she oversteps that shit. Then hit that reset button, bro. Find something else.
You're just telling them to end it? Find something else? We've been together for 25 years.
You ain't come home late fucking with a nigga, did you?
That's because that's
All
not
right,
my
then.
my
All right.
MO.
All right, then. So at the end of the day, listen, it's totally different.
But I cheated.
Fuck that cheat.
What the heck?
And the reason I say it is because listen, I'm sorry. So the way I'm wording it, you know, like you might not understand, but long story short, like, and this is men that all that. I got my baby at home. That's my pussy. This and this and that. If you out there, you fucking cheating or whatever the case may motherfucking be. You know what I mean? If she step out on you, it is what it is. You can't hold her the fucking against her because of all the shit you done fucking did.
What about if he's a good guy, babe?
Huh?
There are some women out there that are shisty just like dudes, and they got a good dude.
He's a fucking sucker.
What the heck? How is he a sucker?
He's a sucker. Because guess what? If he treating her right and she's stepping the fuck off and doing what the fuck she want to do, he's a fucking sucker. Nigga, you should be doing that shit your motherfucking self. I'm being God honest fucking truth.
How is he a sucker?
Because if he's sitting here eating that pussy and tasting another nigga dick.
What the heck? What the heck? That's what makes him a sucker, because he's treating his woman good and
he's
she's
treating her good
to
and
step
she's
out.
choosing to step out. And all he doing is, he's a fucking female. Literally, he's a fucking female.
He's not a female.
He is a fucking, listen.
What? Okay, tell me, what are the characteristics that makes him a female if he's being a good man?
All right, let me tell you characteristics, right? Let me tell you the characteristics, right? So long story short, if you making sure you're home happy, if you making sure she got clothes on her motherfucking back, you making sure her sexual needs supposedly satisfied, or basically your needs, you know what I mean? And she's still going out there doing what the fuck she want to do, and you complaining to her every time she comes in the motherfucking house, nigga, you's a fucking sucker.
So you would tell your friend
he's a sucker.
He needs to leave her.
Yeah. Listen. You want? You know what? This is No Filter. This is Shirley's podcast. You know what I mean? What is it? Femme Parlay?
Femme Parlay?
Yeah. So listen. I had to catch myself because I was about to say something else. So long story short, the best way to get over a female is to get under one. So my man, if you the one sitting here taking care of everything, make sure everything right, you doing your best to keep her fucking happy, and she's still stepping the fuck out, my nigga, get under one. And I bet you an amount of money, you'll get over her.
How is that going to be the solution to the problem, babe?
Because guess what? He looking for something better.
So he just needs to have sex with someone else?
No. He needs to cut that bitch the fuck off and live life.
But so he may not want to.
Then he's a fucking sucker.
So the advice that you would give your friend if his girl was cheating and he was a true, genuine, good dude is he needs to leave her.
Listen, my nigga, you's a good nigga. Leave that bitch. Bottom line. If you want to keep on bringing that motherfucking attention to me, bro, let me tell you something. I don't even want to hear that shit no more, bro. And this is God honest fucking truth. I don't want to hear no more about you. Man, I love her. This and this and that. Man, don't save her. She don't want to be saved. Don't save her.
Goodness.
I'm telling the truth. I'm telling the truth, man. Listen, this is God honest truth, man. For real. I love my lady. She was never a hoe. She was always a housewife. You know what I mean? The things I respect about my lady is, when I met her, she ain't know how to cook. But she learned. She was always a clean individual. And I respect that. She was always willing to expand her mind with me. Outside and behind closed door, I respect that. But if you got a female that's stepping out on you, go to church with her. And if God don't strike her.
God don't strike her.
I'm sorry.
Oh, wow.
I'm sorry.
That's
It just turned into a
interesting to
comedy
hear.
show, man. It's a comedy show now.
Well,
I'm sorry.
it's interesting to hear. I feel the same. I don't feel the same. I don't feel once a cheater, always a cheater.
No. People,
You know,
like,
I do
there's room
feel
for change.
exactly. So even if maybe there needs to be a little separation, I also feel counseling is important to incorporate.
Yes.
Good counselor, you know,
Yes.
finding a
But
counselor.
what if she start fucking a counselor?
Well, now you're taking it deeper and deeper
Nah,
and
this is some
deeper.
real life shit though. You feel me? What if she start fucking a counselor? Male or female?
Well, yeah, I mean that's
you
not
gotta think about it
good.
like this, right? These females that become fucking strags.
Strags.
Yeah, strags, a ratchet bitch. You know what I mean?
What the-
Just a hoe.
But okay, it's interesting that you're saying that because I don't. Okay, even if she does want to be a hoe, because there are some dudes out there that are hoes.
All niggas.
Okay, there are some dudes out there that are hoes. Even if she did want to be a hoe and sex was life for her and that's what she
Listen.
wanted, what you're saying is she should be single, or are you saying you have no respect for hoes? And why do they have the name
I don't
hoes?
have.
Just
I don't.
because
I
if they
don't.
choose
I don't
to
have.
sexual
I don't have.
encounters.
I don't have. Listen. I have respect for females. I have respect for ladies. You feel me? I have respect for women. So I categorize all of them, right? Mm-hmm. A lady, she's a hoe.
What?
A female, she's a hoe. A woman is a woman. A lady that knows what she wants and knows how to carry herself and get what she wants. The rest of the motherfuckers, they still gotta grow. You know what I mean? They still have to grow.
What's the urban definition of hoe?
A ratchet, nasty bitch.
Hoe meaning. Because what in your mind is hoe?
A whore. A whore. She need to sell that pussy. She love to fuck, sell that pussy.
What does whore mean?
Listen, a whore.
But like what,
whore.
like how many men does
She
she
needs-
need to be sleeping with?
She needs to be a porn star. She needs to get paid to fuck. She needs to work at a brothel. Tell you the truth. Nobody has time for females that want to be treated good but mistreated.
Prostitute or harlot.
I told you, a whore.
But you
Sell the
know,
pussy.
if she, so what you're saying is you would have more respect for her if she decided to become a prostitute and she was selling it for money.
Why not? Shit,
And
I've
that-
been buying your pussy for the longest.
Well,
Anything you ask me for, you get. You
Well-
my prostitute though.
Lord, if you want to put a dollar amount on it, I mean, that's fine. It doesn't offend me, but I'm trying to understand. Okay, so what I'm trying to understand for you, because this is interesting to me. So if she chooses to sell it, you'll have more respect for her, and it can, as opposed to if she's just
Yeah, man,
sleeping
listen.
with like
Hey, take
different
this into
people.
consideration. And this goes back years. Females been selling pussy for the smallest fucking shit. It can be a bag of weed. It can be a fucking bottle. It can be a pair of shoes. It can be some fucking diapers for their fucking kids. You know what I mean?
I've never sold my pussy.
You sold it to me.
Well, whatever you can say that. Yes, you can say.
Shit, I
Well,
just
I'm
brought you
buying
some-
penis then.
Yeah, you buying dick. Yeah. But I paid for pussy today.
Wait a minute. So we both making purchases then.
Hell yeah. I ain't denying it.
But this is just all in joke form. We're both making purchases. I ain't never selling nothing. This is high end.
This is high and this top.
You're getting a major discount.
Shit. Shit. You been getting a discount. You got a discount with kids.
Our babies. Ah.
Real.
You so silly. But okay, it's interesting to hear you say that. But
the
I
truth,
wouldn't tell my friend if she was sleeping around. And most women, for the most part, women aren't just sleeping around. If she is cheating on her man, it's probably one man.
Nah, don't believe that.
I mean, it could be
Oh, yeah.
others, but for
You got nymphos out here.
you do, but for the most part, there is always exception.
Listen.
But women will sleep with one man
Listen,
at a time.
You crazy as fuck.
I mean, have we all maybe had two
one time.
encounters in 1 month or something like that?
You
Yes.
got females out here that had 2 or 3 encounters in one day.
Well, yes.
That's a whore.
She's probably not in a relationship though.
She can be in a relationship. Let me tell you something.
So you have one of your male friends is in a relationship with a whore?
Any of my boys is in a relationship with a whore. Nah, I don't, nah, I can't, no. I had to actually think about that. But well, listen. I know how to call them plays, fellas. I swear on everything I love. But nah, none of my boys is in a relationship with a whore. They fuck them. But they ain't in no relationship with them because they already know. Bitch, you's a hoe.
It's interesting.
Really?
So I guess to protect y'all ego, y'all know not to date a woman who is conducting herself. Because to me, here's the thing. I look at it, and this is 39-year-old Shirley talking. 19-year-old Shirley probably would have been agreeing with you, like, oh yeah, she a hoe. She out there sleeping. But I feel like if a woman is very confident with her sexuality and she chooses to sleep with various men, I wouldn't necessarily say she's a hoe. She likes to have sex. Would I encourage having sex with several different people?
But think about it like this, right? But think about it like this, right? A female could be in a relationship with a person that they financially love, right? But the dick ain't good.
That was Anna Nicole. I mean, that's present day.
Yeah, but I'm saying a female can be in a relationship, financially loving the individual, financially loving this individual because he provides. So at the end of the day, she gives out. You feel me? But the dick ain't good, so she gonna go fuck a nigga that's broke, but got some good dick. It's weird.
No, it's not weird. But what I'm trying to understand
Her
is
sexual needs was not met, so she stepped out and found a broke nigga that got some fire dick. And was motherfucking cracking that goddamn head.
But you know what you said? That was very interesting. And, you know, I want to hear from the men. He'll fuck her, but he not going to date her.
No.
He'll fuck her, but he won't date her. But listen to, that's because so y'all can already start off the relationship protecting your ego. So what's interesting that you said was that the male will fuck her, but he won't date her. It's because y'all already know that y'all don't want to get hurt. So that's the reason why you choosing not to want to fuck her. I think this is the reason that you
got me on this podcast.
Why?
Because I'm going to keep this shit 100.
Well, that's fine. I want you to keep it.
So I'm going to tell you like this.
100. Men,
I'm not going to wipe up no hoe. I swear to God. I mean, I don't give a fuck how good the pussy is. They not wiping up no motherfucking hoe. This is the realest fucking shit.
What in your mind? Okay, and you know you keep on saying ho ho ho.
All right.
What in your mind is how many people does she need to be sleeping with on average for her to fall into the hoe category?
Bitch, the body count.
So what you're telling me? What's the body count? What's the number?
Shit, I don't
know.
So
if she slept with 20 people, that classifies as hoe?
Depending on her age, yes.
You see, I don't look at it that way.
See, that all right then. You know what I mean? You want a male's point of view, you're going to give you a male's point of view.
I don't disagree. I just don't look at it that way. We don't have to always agree.
Yeah, that's
Remember
true.
that.
We can agree to disagree.
True. I just don't look at it that way. But it's interesting because it's me. I'm not a male. So I want to hear your perspective to hear what in your mind is classifying a girl as a hoe. And for you is the body count. And I guess men out there, when you decide to comment, I want to hear what in your mind
bitch, she got a high body count, bitch. She got a good ass experience. Hell no. Them walls is overcooked, bitch. For real, they done.
What in your mind classifies a woman as a hoe? Because if it's only the body count, to me, I don't agree with that, because basically all I'm hearing in my mind is because she is sexually confident with herself, and just because she may have slept with 15 people and she's 30 years old
15,
and she
that's good.
15 people and she's 30 years old, you give her hoe title?
No, hell no. She's not a hoe.
Let's say she lost her virginity at 25, though, because you did say it depends on what age she is.
She lost her virginity at 25 and she's 30.
Exactly. So I'm
gonna consider that a
listening
hoe.
to what you.
That. I don't know. I consider that's a good one. You might have me on that one. I'm kind of baffled. I don't know how to speak on this one.
She's so silly. But this is why when men be like, "Oh, she a hoe, she a hoe," what in your mind means hoe?
So a hoe is come on. So since you want to put it like that, like, all right, a female that's been around to the point where she like, oh, all y'all niggas ain't shit, bitch. I'm starting to fuck with females now. Nah, bitch, you been around long enough that now you want to take some pussy, and then all of a sudden you gonna say, oh, these bitches ain't shit, but you still taking motherfucking dick. Yeah. The only part about it is you're not getting that after that nut.
They might be getting it after.
Crazy as hell.
But it's
Dildos
interesting.
They don't have that real vein.
They don't have that real vein. It's interesting to hear you say that, but as we're going to be coming to a conclusion, I guess for me, let me talk about my female boundaries since we got off topic talking about the hoes. This is something very interesting that we need to continue. I need to do some type of poll to see what do men consider. What in your mind do you consider a hoe? Is it her body count? Is it if she slept with 5 of your group of friends?
Oh, that's a whore. That ain't a hoe. That's
a whore. That makes her a whore. And what does that make the fellas who all slept with her?
Niggas that just wanted to try to see how it was.
No, y'all just as nasty. Just as nasty because y'all all sharing the same woman like y'all don't know?
No, hell no. Hell no. Not me, bitch, not me.
So wait a minute. She's a whore. And y'all, the 5 of y'all, knowing that y'all done tapped this ass, y'all don't fall into no category. You just fucked her.
Yeah, it's called TNT. A thirsty nigga tapping.
We need to think of a name for y'all. That's
TNT.
What we need to. No
thirsty
TNT.
Nigga tapping.
So we're going to talk about my boundaries when it comes to when you have a female friend. So, you know what? I don't really have. Okay. Of course, excuse me. Same as Khalif. No sex. Once you've had sex with her, that's completely crossed the line. I would think my second one is maintaining respect with me. So if you know the male that you're friends with is in a relationship, you should always make a point to speak to the wife, to the significant other, whatever title she has. We'll say significant other in this situation. But you should make a point to speak to him or her. Because if you have a female or a male friend that your significant other knows nothing about, that's not cool. At some point in time, and it shouldn't be like, you know, a surprise situation. All of a sudden you sprucing this person on like, who the hell are you? And then on top of that, if you also I shouldn't say messing, here I go. If you also friends with someone who is single, in my honest opinion, boundaries need to be met too. Who?
Can't say her name, but
I don't know who you talking about. Remember, we're not saying names.
Down the street, my homegirl single. Down the street.
No. What I'm trying to say is, like, let's say you have. All I'm saying is, if you're in a relationship, you're male or female, and you are friends with someone of the opposite sex who's not in a relationship, they also need to always maintain respect in your relationship. The thing is, what I realize is People do not give a fuck about your relationship. If you don't set the boundary, if you don't set the tone, and if you don't let them know what is okay and not okay, they are not going to give a fuck. That's why it all starts with you. That's why a lot of times now I understand why it's not the other person you need to be addressing. It's your significant other.
Facts.
Because if you don't set the tone in that friendship, and when boundaries start to be crossed, you're like, whoa, or, we can't do this. That's late. My girl don't want me to come home late, or whatever the case may be, whatever boundary you two have set in your relationship, you need to make sure you're honoring it with your friend of the opposite sex, and they need to be respectful of that. I think that's my only two. And no, was that two or was that three? I think, no, my second one was make yourself known. Make yourself known some way, somehow. Because if and I'll tell you by make myself known. When my male friend got into a relationship and we were on the phone one time and I heard her in the background, I immediately introduced myself. And I made my presence known without it feeling like an awkward situation. But this is just me. I made my presence known because, first of all, I'm the type of person, if I know you in a relationship, I'm definitely not going to be having a phone conversation with you every day, because I don't need my number showing up on your phone and then your girl questioning why the fuck you talking to her every day, because this is how the human mind thinks.
Yeah, but if the boundaries are set, right, and the respect is there, you just got an insecure female.
No. I'm not going to say, like, listen, I can't say that.
I'm not, all right, you know what?
I'm not going to say that, because she has every right to question her man as to, why are you talking to this female every day? What are you discussing?
Like, your homegirl?
And I have no...
Your homegirl that I stole from you, that's my homegirl. I call her more than you.
Lex?
Yeah.
Oh. Certain names we can say on the podcast.
Yeah,
Lex already know you dog. Crazy. She said, girl, you know he crazy. He called you my girl. Like, Lex let you roll. She don't challenge nothing you say. That has nothing to do.
I wish a motherfucker would try her.
But let me tell you something. Dog. One thing I can definitely tell you, my friends are my friends for a reason, and I have true respect for them, and they would never cross that line. So I would never have to worry about you and Alexis, because Lexus ain't no shiesty bitch. That's one thing. And Lexus already, I know my friends very well. Lexus, Keisha, them girls ain't even looking your goddamn way.
I don't want them to.
Exactly. So I don't need to worry about my friends. But what I was really trying to say when you was talking about the female is insecure, I don't agree with Khalif when he says that, because like I told you, everybody don't think like me. And if my male friend was in a relationship, I need to scale back. Even if we had been friends since we were children and all this stuff, once you become an item with somebody, it is time for me, in my eyes, to fall back, because now you're building a relationship with somebody. And unless we are maybe in a business partner dynamic, there is no reason for me to be now talking to you every day on the phone, because really, truly, what am I talking about? And also, I know how sometimes women can be. Some women won't say anything. Some women will. And I'm not going to say a woman is insecure, but if she was to truly ask you, what are you talking about with this girl every single day? It's a legitimate question that deserves an answer, because truth be told, now that you're in a relationship, what really am I talking to you about every day? What you wore for the day? The bills you paying with your lady? Or like if there's a situation,
I get what you're saying,
that's going on, I understand. If I'm having trouble and I need somebody to talk to, I should be comfortable enough to go to their home and sit at their table and have a conversation with both of them, because in my eyes, that's what I look as respect.
I get what you're saying.
If it's a spur of the moment conversation and I haven't spoken to you in 2 months and I'm calling you because, I'm mad because this guy just pissed me off and I just need to vent, she's not going to question that. But if 4 days out the week I'm talking to you on the phone, she has every right to ask her man, what the fuck you talking about?
I get that and I respect that.
That's what I'm trying to say. As of, make your presence known in a healthy way and learn how to scale back. Because when someone's in a relationship, respect is important. That's what I'm trying to say.
So to piggyback off that, I just think like your point of view and my point of view is totally different. You know what I mean, like, me personally, like, I'm not gonna say I call my female friends every day or whatever case may be. I have multiple female friends, so like we just call to talk shit sometimes. Like literally, just talk shit. We ain't gotta have no conversation. It's just about talking shit, because some females, maybe if they're in a relationship or not, you know what I mean, like they just love to hear. I ain't gonna say love. I'm gonna say they just like to hear, you know what I mean, like just a joke time, because their significant other might be too serious and they can't joke with them, whatever case may be. So, like you can joke with some of them, you know what I mean? Like, prime example, like the female that she was talking about that I brought to one of my family functions and they made her so uncomfortable. Like, literally, that was my dog. Like, that was my dog. Like, we used to go out, chop it up. She asked about the family. You know what I mean? Like, we grew up together, so, like, we literally just had a bond. And when my family made her uncomfortable, that bond was kind of sort of broken. Like, recently, how would I say, like, sheesh, maybe 2 weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago, I found out that she lives back in Jersey. Found out that she's having a kid. Found out that she lost somebody. And she's still my dog. Like, I never lost no love for her. I respect her actions because of my family, but we literally had a good bond, you know what I mean? Like, we never did no dinner in a movie, you know what I mean? We probably went out to eat, chopped it up, and called it a day. We never went and watched no movie. We never slept. We never did nothing to where it was a cross of a boundary, And salutes to you, my homie. You know what I mean? Congratulations on your baby that's about to be born. And hopefully one day you'll hear this. So I'm going to let you know about it soon. It's my dog. That's my dog. And, like I literally knew all her brothers and her mom. I never knew her pops. So, and one of her brothers, she recently just lost, and that was my guy. She just lost him a couple months ago. That was my guy. I'm upset about that one. And I'm glad to hear from you again. That's all I gotta say, baby.
I gotta, babe, that's fine. I mean, so as we end today's podcast, it's important that you, what are you saying? You might as well talk. I'll just have to tell her to cut it off. I have no idea what you're saying.
Oh. Thank God for what you need. Thank God for what you have.
That says trust God.
Oh, trust God.
For what you need.
For what you need. I'm sorry. So
thank
trust
God for what you need.
Yeah. How about you say it?
So what I was saying, guys, was regardless if you choose to have friends of the opposite sex, there's no right or wrong to it. Just remember to respect your partner, make good, healthy decisions, set healthy boundaries, and just always remember that no one gives a fuck about your relationship but you.
Facts.
So we want to always thank you for listening. And remember to love yourself, voice yourself, and be yourself. And until the next podcast, have a great one. Thanks for tuning in to Femme Parler Podcast. If you want to continue the conversation or share your takeaways, I want to hear from you. Head on over to the website or join our Facebook community and comment your favorite part of the show or share your thoughts. I want to hear what you have to say. Don't forget to rate and subscribe to the podcast so you never miss an episode. Chat with you next week.